OK, gents, let's start with the back page of the Star, then with a story regarding Marcus Rashford. Not the season he'd hoped for, Sam. Paris Rash dash £80 million, Jeremy Cross reports. What's your read on this? Do you sense PSG are keen on Rashford?
I don't know either way, but I think United would have a very big decision to make. I think 80 million for Marcus Rashford, given that this season has not worked out at all well, and they're in the midst of a major rebuild. They've not got much room on their PSR budget. If indeed PSG are offering 80 million for him, now don't forget he signed a very big contract last year. I think United would sell. I really do. I think he's clearly been a huge player for them over recent years. He's homegrown. He has that all-important sort of connection with the fans, but it's not been a good season for him. And if that sort of money's on the table, given the new sort of ownership, if that's the right word for the minority share that Jim Ratcliffe has, which has given him control of football operations, I think you take that deal. I really do. So let's see. He's not an easy player to replace. He obviously means a lot to the club. He's had some great seasons, especially. But I think as a trade, I think that would work for United. But it would all depend, of course, if that indeed is what PSG want to do. I don't know what the clubs, what PSG's side of it is, and I guess that will probably unfold over tomorrow when the Parisian reporters get their teeth into this story.
It's changed fast, isn't it? A year or so, Dave, given that he was, I suppose, once hailed as a talisman youth product to build the team around. 30 goals last season. The Express, though, has in for the kill. PSG targeting £80 million Rashford as a successor to Real-bound Mbappe. If that's true, Dave, does it underscore the raw talent Rashford has, that they can conceive him as a replacement for Mbappe?
Yeah, I certainly don't see him in the same class as Mbappe. I think last season was a bit of an outlier for him in terms of goal scoring. It's untypical of how he's done this year. It's been nowhere near those sort of levels. I get the impression, I agree with Sam, that if £80 million is on the table, then United would sell, particularly, as you say, with their own FFP issues, with Ratcliffe coming in and wanting a major overhaul of the playing staff, which is needed. Then I think they bite their hands off for that, to be honest, for that sort of money. I also think for Rashford, it could be the best thing for him. It feels like a player who might be in need of a fresh start. I think at United, because he's one of the few homegrown, he's the big Mancunian local lad, made good. I think there's probably more pressure on him than perhaps his talent, merits in a way. That's not to be derogatory about him. He's a very good player. But because he is the local lad, there's so much on him, so much pressure, and we can see, the stuff about the drinking session in Belfast. You get the impression of a player who's maybe struggling just to handle that amount of pressure, and to go to a couple like Paris, where there's still quite a few star players there, and just be a player without that added sort of pressure of being the local lad, I think could be good for Rashford. I think it just feels like the club's. It's a strange club. It's been a strange club for years. And to get out of there, to have a fresh start, perhaps even particularly abroad, could be the best thing for him as well as United.
Indeed, pick up a Ligue 1 or trophy or two, maybe lead them to their first Champions League unless Mbappe does it before he leaves in the summer. Sam, do you expect this is indicative of some of the reporting we're going to see, a domino effect caused by the Mbappe sale?
Look, Mbappe will go as a free agent, so clearly that will leave if indeed that is his decision, which seems to be that he will go to Real Madrid after lots and lots of years of courtship, then yes, of course, that will free up a sizable part of the PSG's wage budget, and I imagine that they'll be looking for a very high-end replacement. Clearly, they've changed their strategy a bit. They are not sort of signing the Neymars and the Messis that they did in previous seasons. They're trying to tap into what a lot of leading clubs are doing, really, and by young emergent talent. But even clubs, certainly clubs on PSG's level, even when they have that kind of policy, you still need some big names. You need that to kind of galvanise the squad and to drive it on. It can't all be young players, so they'll definitely be in the market for a big striker. I would imagine they've got a few names on their list, and I think Rashford will be quite a hard sell at the moment just because of the season that he's having. I know he scored in United's last 2 games, but he's certainly not performing as he did last season. And I don't think I don't think he'd be a shoo-in to take that role. He's scored a big goal. He's had a big game in Paris for United in the past, which always makes a difference. But he's certainly not in the form that he was this time last season.